Hi everyone and welcome back this evening. Like I said earlier, we are lucky to have a yoga session tonight with Namaste Studios in Corner Brook. So make sure you get yourself a yoga mat or something comfortable to lie down on, maybe a bottle of water, some relaxing music, maybe a friend if they're in your bubble, and we'll take it away with Namaste Studios.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining me here tonight. My name is Mandy Buckle and I'm a yoga teacher. I've been teaching yoga for almost a year now. I'm also a registered massage therapist. I've been a massage therapist for 11 years. I teach yoga at the Namaste Studios, and I work at Vitch Physio, which is just in the same building as the yoga studio. It's a really great studio. They have lots of classes to offer, lots of different varieties of classes. So you should check out their website or their Facebook page, Instagram, to find out the different classes that they have to offer. We are going back into the studio next week or the week after. We've been doing online classes since COVID happened, but we're going to be going back into the studio with a limited amount of students allowed in, but we're going to be continuing the online as well. So it's a great option if you can't make it in person. So welcome to the yoga class. I normally teach a back, neck, and shoulders class, which is what I decided to do tonight. I figured back, neck, and shoulders would be great where you're students. I remember being a student and sitting down at a desk and just having, a poor posture, tightness through my neck and shoulders, and always feeling like I need to stretch that. So I thought that would be a great class for you to do tonight. And it's also something that you can take with you, so you can hopefully remember some of the stretches that we go through and just bring that into your day-to-day life when you're feeling some tightness through your neck and shoulders. Yoga is such a great practice. Maybe you're brand new to yoga, maybe you've been doing yoga off and on over the years, or maybe you're a seasoned yogi. Whatever level of yoga that you come in here with, all is welcome, because yoga, everybody can do yoga. It's not one of those things where if you're not flexible enough, you can't do it or anything like that. That's a myth. You don't need to be flexible to do yoga. Yoga will help you to become more flexible. Everybody can do yoga. It's so great for your muscles and your joints to feel that stretching and the strengthening with the different poses. One thing that you need to take into consideration when doing yoga is that everybody is different. So you might look different from your friend who's doing the yoga with you. That's okay. So you just have to listen to your body and just make sure that you're staying within your comfort level, because staying into a pose too long or too far into a pose can cause some damage, and we don't want that. So make sure to listen to your body and just ignore everybody else around you. If you go to a class in person, don't look at your neighbor to see what they're doing. Just feel it within your own body and make sure that you're being safe, especially where I'm not able to see you in person. Normally we just keep an eye on everybody just to make sure, but I'm not able to do that. So big thing is to just to be safe. So yoga is also great for the mind. It's not only just for the body, it's really great for the mind. It just really helps to calm everything down and reduce stress, which is great if you're a student. I know how stressful being a student can be. I remember it all too well. So we've gone over all of the housekeeping things. So we'll just go ahead and get started. So if you have a yoga mat, you can stretch out your yoga mat. You can sit down on the mat or on a bolster or a pillow if you need some support underneath your hips. You can use props if you're familiar with the props. But you don't have to. You can just have your mat, or even just have your floor nearby. So you can go ahead and get started. So just come to a seated position on your mat and just cast a gentle gaze in front of you. You can close your eyes if you'd like. And we're just going to begin to bring our awareness inward to the breath. Just beginning to slow everything down. Just noticing the natural rhythm of your own breath. Noticing how it feels in your body. Noticing the quiet around you. And as you continue to breathe, just lengthen your breath a little bit. Make it longer on the inhale through the nose and longer on the exhale through the nose. Noticing that breath filling up your belly. And noticing how it feels as the breath leaves through your nose. And as you inhale through your nose, just inhale positive thoughts and energies. And exhale any negative thoughts or energies or any tension away from your body. And from here, you can set an intention for the class. So if you're not familiar with intentions, I like to think of them as mini New Year's resolutions. So it's something that you intend to do. It could be for the class, it could be for the week. Something that you can just keep reminding yourself of throughout the class or throughout the week. And it's something that, like a New Year's resolution to me, seems so big and obscure and something that's not really easily attainable, but intentions are some things that are small and just easier to attain. So you can set that now, or any positive affirmations. And continuing to breathe deeper with each breath in. And slowly exhale through the nose, a little bit longer each time. And when you feel ready, if you had your eyes closed, you can slowly begin to blink them open as we prepare for our first few poses. So sitting comfortably on your mat, however that is to you, with your arms just down by your sides. On your next inhale, sweep your arms up above, and then just exhale them back down. Inhale your arms up, and exhale them back down. I'm just going to move through 5 of these, going at the pace of your own breath. Just going with your breath. So inhaling your arms up, and then as you exhale, just lower them back down again. Just getting some movement through the shoulders. On your next inhale, as you sweep your arms up, this time as you exhale, you're just going to twist to the right, lowering your right arm behind you and your left arm in front of you. And then inhale your arms back to center, and exhale, lowering them to the left, twisting to the left. Inhale, arms back to center, and exhale, lowering to the right, twisting to the right. And we're going to move through 5 full rounds, going at the pace of your own breath. So inhaling your arms to center, and as you exhale, twisting to one side. One more full round, and then I'll meet you back in the center in stillness. And when you're ready, you can exhale your arms back down by your sides. Once you're ready, inhale your arms up. And this time, as you exhale, you're going to lower your right arm down to your mat and then reach that left arm towards the right side of your mat. And then inhale your arms back to center. And as you exhale, lowering to the left side, reaching your right arm towards the left side of your mat. And moving through 4 more rounds, going at the pace of your own breath. Inhaling to center, and as you exhale, lowering to one side. Feeling that opening through your side body, creating space between your ribs. And when you're ready, I'll meet you back in stillness in the center, lowering your arms down by your sides. When you're ready, inhale your arms up. And as you exhale, twisting to the right again, lowering your right arm behind you and your left arm in front of you. It can be on the floor or resting on your knee. And this time we're going to hold it here. Your gaze, your look can be over your right shoulder. We're going to hold here for 5 breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Feeling that twisting through your spine. On your next inhale, sweep your arms back up to the center, and as you exhale, lowering them towards the left, twisting to the left, lowering your left arm behind you, and your right arm can be either on the floor or resting on your knee, and your gaze can be over your left shoulder. Holding here for 4 breaths. On your next inhale, sweep your arms back up to the center, and then exhale, lowering them all the way back down. When you're ready, inhale your arms up to center, and as you exhale, tilt to the right, lowering your right arm down to your mat, reaching that left arm towards the right side, making sure to keep both of your hips on the floor. Just feeling that opening through the side body. We're going to hold here for 3 breaths. On your next inhale, sweep both arms back up to the center, and then as you exhale, lowering your left arm towards your mat, and then reaching that right arm towards the left side of your mat. Keeping both hips, both sits bones on your mat, feeling that opening through the side body, creating space between the ribs. Holding for 1 more breath. And then inhale both arms back to center, and exhale, lowering them all the way back down to your mat. sitting comfortably on your mat, you can just rest your arms on your knees or down by your mat, whatever's comfortable to you. Inhale through your nose, and as you exhale, lower your chin down towards your chest. And then on your next exhale, roll your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then inhale, chin to chest, and exhale, rolling your left ear towards your left shoulder. We're going to move through 5 full rounds, going at the pace of your own breath. So inhaling your chin back to center, and then exhaling as you roll your ear to one shoulder. Moving with your breath. And pausing anywhere here that you feel any tension. And releasing that tension with your breath. On your next inhale, bring your chin back towards your chest when you feel ready. And then slowly begin to bring your head back up to neutral. Inhale through your nose, and as you exhale through your nose, lower your chin down towards your chest again. If you can feel a comfortable stretch in the back of your neck here, you can hold it. But if you'd like to increase it a little bit, you can take your hands, just place them on the back of your head, and just give a gentle pull until you feel a nice, comfortable stretch. No pain, just comfortable. We're going to hold here for 5 breaths. On your next inhale, if you had your hands behind your head, just slowly begin to bring them back around and bring your head back up to neutral. On your next inhale, lower your right ear towards your right shoulder and take your left hand and place it on the mat next to you. If you can feel a comfortable stretch through the side of your neck here, you can hold it. If you'd like to increase it, take your right hand, place it on top of your head, and just give a gentle pull until you feel a comfortable stretch. Holding here for 5 breaths. On your next inhale, if you had your hand on top of your head, just slowly begin to bring it back down, bringing your head back up to neutral. On your next inhale, place your right hand on your mat next to you, and then slowly begin to lower your left ear towards your left shoulder. If you feel a comfortable stretch here, you can hold it. But if you'd like to increase it, just take your left hand, place it on top of your head, and then give a little gentle pull until you feel a comfortable stretch. Holding here for 5 breaths. On your next inhale, if you had your hand on top of your head, just slowly begin to bring it back down and slowly bring your head back up to neutral. Sitting on your mat, just bring your legs out in front of you. I was sitting on a cushion, so I like to take that out. I find it's easier to stretch my legs when I'm doing it that way, but you can also still sit on your cushion if you're comfortable like that. So bringing your legs out in front of you, you want them to be wider than hip width apart. Sitting upright, nice and long through your spine. Inhale your arms up when you're ready, and then exhale, fold forward at the hips, bringing your hands down on the floor in front of you. And just pausing here for a few breaths. You might feel a stretch through your low back, through your hips, through the backs of your legs. And with each inhale, I like to come out of the stretch just a little bit. And then as I exhale, I fold forward a little bit more. Just helps to get a little bit deeper into the stretch. Or you can stay stationary. That's completely up to you. Whatever feels good to your body. And on your next inhale, just begin to walk your hands back in towards your body. Taking your left foot, bending at the knee, bringing your foot in towards your right thigh. Holding it in there wherever it's comfortable. You can bring your foot down closer to your knee or tucking it in up near your groin, wherever it's comfortable. Sitting upright, long through your spine. Inhale your arms up. And as you exhale, begin to fold forward towards your right leg, taking a hold of your shin, your knee, your shin, your ankle, all the way down to your toes, wherever you can feel a comfortable stretch. And holding here for a couple breaths. On your next inhale, slowly begin to walk your hands back towards your body. And then you can bring your left foot out, and we're going to do that on the other side. So bring your right foot in towards your left thigh. Sitting upright, on your next inhale, sweep your arms up. And as you exhale, fold forward, taking a hold. You can take a hold of your knee, your shin, your ankle, or all the way down to your toes. And I should mention too, you can also have a slight bend in your knee if you need to. Holding here for a couple breaths. And on your next inhale, just slowly begin to walk your hands back in towards your body. And what we're going to do now is take the soles of our feet together. So you can have your soles of your feet together and your heels can be away from your body, or you can walk them back in, whatever's comfortable, whatever is easy for your body to do. And sitting upright, you can, on your next inhale, sweep your arms up. And then as you exhale, fold forward. You can take a hold of your shins, your ankles, your feet, or you can walk your hands out in front, wherever you can feel comfortable stretch. And you might feel it on the inside of your thighs, your low back, your hips. I love this stretch. It feels so good in my back. I feel like I could just stay like this forever. And on your next inhale, just slowly begin to walk your hands back in towards your body. And then bring your legs back out in front of you, and you can just give them a little shake if you'd like. So I'm going to sit on my cushion again, just because I find that more comfortable for me. So sitting however it's comfortable for you on your mat, just resting your hands, your arms on your knees. And on your next inhale, you're going to arch your back and look up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, round your spine, tucking your chin in towards your chest. So this is called a seated cat and cowl. So inhale, arching your back, looking up towards the sky. And exhale, rounding your spine, tucking your chin in towards your chest. And we're just going to move through 5 full rounds, going at the pace of your own breath. Just feeling that movement through the spine. Movement through our joints is great. It helps to bring lubrication, to keep our joints healthy. And when you're ready, I'll meet you back in stillness. With your arms down by your sides. On your next inhale, bring your right arm out to your side with your palm facing out. And on your next exhale, sweep it across your body, bringing your left arm up, bending at your elbow, both palms facing backwards, and just settle into the stretch, pulling your right arm towards the left side of your mat. Holding here for a few breaths. On your next inhale, release your left arm and then your right arm down by your side. When you're ready, inhale your left arm out to the side, palm facing out. And as you exhale, sweep it across your body, taking your right arm up, bending at the elbow, pulling that left arm towards the right side of your mat, both palms facing backwards. And just settle into the stretch, holding for a few breaths. On your next inhale, release your right arm and then your left arm down by your sides. So we're going to move over to a tabletop position, so on your hands and your knees. And you want your wrists to be underneath your shoulders, and your knees can be hip width apart or wider. I like to have my knees wider in this pose. With this one, if you have your knees really wide, you can keep your toes together. And on your next exhale, you're going to sink your hips back towards your heels. And then settle in so you can walk your hands out in front of you. Now, if you need to have a pillow underneath you, you can. You can place it under your belly or under your chest, walking all the way down, and then you can rest your forehead on your mat. And this is called child's pose. And this is a very restful pose. It's a nice stretch for the hips, for the shoulders. We're going to stay here for a few cleansing breaths, so you can breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. And if you set an intention or an affirmation at the beginning of the class, it's a good time to think back on that now and just making sure that you're carrying it with you. And when you're ready, you can slowly begin to come back up onto your knees and your elbows, and then press yourself back up to that tabletop position on your hands and your knees. From here, we did a seated cat and cow earlier, so now we're going to move into just the regular cat and cow. So with your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips, with a flat back, on your next inhale, just drop your belly and look up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, round your spine, tucking your chin into your chest. We're going to move through 5 of these, going at the pace of your own breath. So as you inhale, you drop your belly looking up towards the sky, and then exhale, round your spine, tucking your chin in. Feeling that movement through the spine, through the hips, the shoulders, stretching through the belly, through the abdomen. We'll do 2 more full rounds and then meet you back in that tabletop pose. So meeting you back in tabletop with your hands on your hands and knees, wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. On your next inhale, take your left arm and then sweep it all the way up towards the sky. And as you exhale, sweep it down and through your other arm, placing your shoulder and the left side of your head on your mat. You can take your right hand and keep it by your face. If you'd like, you can walk your fingertips out in front of you, or take your hand and place it on the small of your back, wherever it feels good to you. And we're going to hold here for 2 more breaths. And if you had your hand away from your face, you can slowly begin to bring it back by your face and then press into your right hand, lifting yourself back up. Bring your left arm all the way back up towards the sky, and then exhale back down. I'm doing this on the other side, so if you need to readjust, you can into that tabletop position. And then when you're ready, take your right arm on your next inhale, sweep it all the way up towards the sky, and then as you exhale, sweep it down and through your other arm, placing your shoulder and the right side of your head on your mat. And you can have your hand by your face, walk it out in front of you, or take it to the small of your back, wherever it's comfortable for you. And when you're ready, bring your hand back towards your face, pressing into your left hand, coming back up all the way, bringing your right arm all the way up towards the sky, and then exhale, lowering it back down to the mat. Still in that tabletop position. You're going to tuck your toes underneath, pressing into your hands and your toes. You're just going to lift your knees off of your mat and then press your hips up towards the sky into down dog. And from here, you can begin to pedal out your heels, pressing one heel towards the mat at a time. And pressing your heart back towards your thighs. Whatever feels good to you in this moment. And when you feel ready, you can walk your feet to meet your hands, or your hands back to meet your feet. And staying in this forward fold position with your fingertips just touching the mat. You can have a slight bend in your knees here. Whatever feels good to you in this moment. And from here, you can begin to sway from side to side, just letting your head hang. Nodding your head yes or nodding it no. You can take your arms at your elbows in ragdoll and let yourself hang. Whatever feels good to you in this moment. Feeling that decompression through your spine. All day we spend standing and sitting with all that pressure on our spine. So this is just such a good way to relieve some of that pressure. Get some blood rushing to our head. It's a nice one to do when you're tired after studying for a long time. Keep doing whatever feels good to you. And when you feel ready, slowly begin to roll yourself one vertebrae at a time to a standing position with your head the last to come up. Standing on your mat, nice and tall, long through your spine, you can begin to rock back and forth, finding a balance within your feet, finding the four corners of your feet, just imagining there's four corners to your feet, and you want to find that balance. Your shoulders are down and away from your ears. Your arms are long. Palms are facing out or facing your body. Your eyes can be closed or just cast a gentle gaze in front of you. This is mountain pose. I like to just take a few cleansing breaths in this pose. Just imagining I'm standing on top of a mountain with the wind blowing. So you can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, sighing it out if you'd like. On your next inhale, sweep your arms up above and just slowly bring them back down as you exhale. Inhale your arms up and then exhale, lowering them back down. Inhale up. And this time take your hands together and turn to the side for you. You want your pointer finger and your thumb to be touching. And just with a bit of a wider stance, If you have low back problems, I wouldn't recommend doing this one, but if you think you're okay, just tuck your belly button in towards your spine. Take an inhale through your nose, and as you exhale, just arch back, reaching back, tucking your belly button in to protect your low back. And inhale, coming back to center. And with your wide stance on your next inhale, as you exhale, just tilting to the right. And inhale back to center. And tilt to the left on your next exhale. And coming back to center on the inhale, and then just exhale, lowering your arms back down. I'm going to take a wide stance now. So you want your toes to be pointing to the corners of your mat. You can have a slight bend in your knees here. Standing nice and tall, long through your spine. On your next inhale, sweep your arms up. And as you exhale, swan dive, hinging at your hips, bringing your fingertips towards your mat. If you need to readjust your feet here, you can. I need to come out a little bit wider. So the goal here is to feel some stretching through your legs, your low back. Just fingertips are on your mat. Slight bend in your knees. A few cleansing breaths here. On your next inhale, as you exhale, just walk your fingers over, framing your right foot. Feeling that stretch through the back of the right leg. You might feel it through the thigh, through the left leg. Take a few cleansing breaths here. And then on your next inhale, walk your fingertips back to center. And then as you exhale, walk them over towards your left foot, framing your left foot. And then as you inhale, just walk your fingertips back to center. And then take an exaggerated bend in your knees, placing your hands on either knee, and then slowly rolling yourself one vertebrae at a time to a standing position. And with your feet and legs in that the wider stance, with your toes still pointing towards the corners of your mat, from here, you can place your hands on your hips. We're going to bend our knees, sinking into a bit of a squat. You want your knees to be over your toes, nice and long through your spine, upright through your shoulders. And then from here, you can either stay in this position with your hands on your hips, you can take your arms into goal post, or you can even have them at heart center. So whatever feels good to you. This is goddess pose. And just take a few breaths here, in through the nose and out through the nose. Coming out of the pose at any time if you need to. Tucking your belly button into your spine to protect your low back and help keep you balanced here. On your next inhale, bring your hands down to your hips and then slowly bring yourself back up to a standing position. And then you can heel toe your feet back to a standing position. So coming to the front of your mat, we're going to come into that mountain pose again. So finding those four corners of your feet, finding that balance. Long through the spine. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. Palms are facing forward or in towards your body. Sorry about my puppy barking. And then on your next inhale, sweep your arms up above. And then as you exhale, swan dive, your arms down, bending at the hips, fingertips towards your mat. You can have a slight bend in your knees here. And you can just sway from side to side again, doing whatever felt good the last time or trying something new. It might feel a little bit looser this time around than it did the last time we did this pose. And when you're ready, just place your hands on either side of your feet, your fingertips, or all the way down to your palms. And just slowly step back into a high plank position. You can lower down to your knees if you need to. And then pulling your elbows in towards your body, just slowly lower yourself all the way down to your mat. Keeping your hands underneath your shoulders. Your feet can be flat on your mat. And just resting your forehead on your mat. From here, we're going to pull your shoulders down and away from your ears. And then squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then on your next inhale, just lift off of your mat. So lift your hands and your chest and your forehead all the way off of your mat, squeezing through your back muscles, your shoulder blades, holding for a couple of breaths if you can, coming out at any time if you need to, and then slowly exhale, lowering all the way back down. On your next inhale, bring your shoulders down and away from your ears, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then lifting up, lifting your chest, your hands, and your forehead off your mat, holding for a couple of breaths if you can, and then exhale, lowering all the way back down. We're going to do that one more time. So squeeze your shoulder blades together, making sure your shoulders are down and away from your ears. On your next inhale, lift up off of your mat, your hands, your chest, your forehead, squeezing through the back muscles, holding for a couple breaths if you can, and then exhale, lowering all the way back down. Coming up onto your elbows, you want to take your right elbow, right forearm, and place it in front. And you want your forearm to be in line with the short edge of your mat. And you can just place your left hand underneath your shoulder. On your next inhale, bend your left knee, bringing your heel in towards your bum. And then as you exhale, sweep your left arm around, taking a hold of your foot and then pulling it in towards your body. And you should feel a stretch in through the front of your thigh, and you might feel it through the front of your chest. And on your next exhale, just release your hand from your foot, bringing it all the way back down towards your mat. You're going to switch forearms so that your left forearm is in front, in line with the short edge of your mat, and place your right hand underneath your shoulder. On your next inhale, bend your right knee, bringing your heel in towards your bum. And then on your next exhale, take your right hand, take a hold of your foot, and pull it in towards your bum. You should feel it, or you may feel it in your thigh, in the front of your thigh, and possibly through your chest. And on your next exhale, just release and come back down to your mat. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. You can rest your forehead on your mat again, and your feet are flat on your mat. And from here, on your next inhale, just press yourself up to your knees into that tabletop position. You might need to adjust, walking your hands back underneath your shoulders. And you can have your knees together or have them a little bit wider than hip width apart. We're going to sink back into a child's pose again. So just sink your hips back towards your heels and then walk your hands out in front of you. If you need a pillow underneath your belly or your chest or underneath your forehead, you can place one there. Just taking a few cleansing breaths here. And when you're ready, just come back up onto your knees and your elbows, and then slowly walk your hands back. You can bring your knees back underneath your hips, and then just slowly walk your hands back so that you'll come to a seated position on your heels. And then from here, just swing your legs out from underneath you and bring them out in front of you. We're going to come to a lying position on your mat. So you can take a hold of your knees and just slowly help yourself back down to a lying position. With your knees bent, you can walk your heels back towards your bum, wherever they're comfortable. Your arms can be out like a T by your sides. And on your next inhale, slowly begin to drop your knees down to the left side, and then you can turn your head to the right. And from here, it's okay if your hips come up off of your mat. And just take a few cleansing breaths here. On your next inhale, bring your head back to center and your knees back to center. And on your next inhale, as you exhale, lower your knees down to the right, and then you can turn your head to the left. When you feel ready, just bring your knees back to center and your head back to center. With your knees still bent and your feet flat on the floor, you can walk your heels back towards your bum if you'd like. From here, you're going to turn your feet so that the soles are touching, and then slowly let your knees drop to either side. And take your hands, you can leave them out like a T by your sides or take them in goalpost. And just take a few cleansing breaths here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feeling that opening through the hips, through the chest. And when you feel ready, just bring your arms back down by your sides, take hold of your knees, your thighs and just slowly help your knees back up to center. And from here, grab your knees and pull them in towards your chest, one at a time. And from here, you can rock from side to side. You can make circles with your hips or your knees. Give your lower back a little massage. Whatever feels good to you in this moment. You can pull one knee out to the side and then the other knee out to the other side. Whatever feels good to you. And from here, if you'd like, you can take happy baby pose. So keeping your knees in towards your chest, just extend your legs up and then take a hold of your feet, by the outside of your feet, and then just bring your feet in towards your body. Your knees might end up pointing outwards. And you can rock from side to side here, giving your middle back a little massage. You can pull one leg out to the side and then the other leg out to the other side. Whatever feels good to you right now. And when you're ready, you release your feet from your hands and slowly bring everything back down to your mat. And from here, we're going to get ready to get into our final resting pose, Shavasana. So from here, you can take a lying position on your mat. However you can get comfortable, if you'd like a pillow under your head, one under your knees. You can cover yourself up with a blanket, turn on some soft music. Whatever's going to make you the most comfortable for these next few moments. So when you're ready, when you're comfortable lying on your mat, you can close your eyes and slowly begin to bring your awareness inward to your breath without making any more changes to your breath. Just noticing the gentle rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And begin to survey your body, noticing any areas of tension and releasing that tension. Relaxing your face, your forehead, your jaw. Relaxing your neck, shoulders, elbows and hands. Relax your belly and your low back. Relaxing your hips, knees, and toes. And settle into stillness. Begin to bring your awareness back into the room. Begin by wiggling your fingers or your toes, or taking a lazy stretch overhead. And when you're ready, turn yourself over to one side and slowly press yourself to a seated position You can have your hands at heart center if you'd like. I like to end my class with a quote. And this one says, "The mind benefits from stillness and the body benefits from movement." So thank you so much for allowing me to take you through the movement and the stillness. And I really hope that you enjoyed the class tonight. And I hope you have a wonderful semester. Thank you so much. Namaste.
All right, everyone. What an awesome day. Make sure you thank you so much for joining us, and make sure you tune in tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for more Orientation Week 2020. See you then.